sales to marketing, HR to finance, law to management. Career change is such a normal part of life. However, the majority of people do not make that shift. The cost feels very high, the possibility of success feels very far away, and overall it just feels really, really scary. If you are one of these people, then stick around, because in this video I'm going to be sharing seven tips on how to take that plunge, make the shift, and feel proud of yourself in the very end. Coming up! Hi everyone, welcome back. This is superchargeyourself.com. My name is Sonal, and this channel is all about sharing practical tips on how to supercharge your career. So before we get started on those 7 tips, I want to talk about 2 things. The first is your why. That's fundamental. We need to understand, why do you want to make the shift in career? Is it because A, you are running away from a career, or B, are you running towards a career that you are attracted to? Nobody can answer this except for you, and it's important that when you answer this question out loud to yourself, you are crystal clear on your why. The next thing I want to talk about are barriers to entry. And there are 4 barriers that people think of when they say, I can't do this. This shift in career is too difficult. I'm not even going to bother. The first barrier is related to education. Yes, before I get into that, there are professions out there that need a training, and you need to have proven that you've got the education, and in fact these are called license to operate. To be a lawyer, to be a doctor of medicine, to be a pilot, you need to have proven, and to be a teacher, right? So you need that license to operate. I'm going to put these professions to the side. However, where does it say, please show me, that in order to work in HR, you should have studied about HR? In order to be a fantastic person in marketing, you should have studied marketing. There is no conclusive proof on this anywhere in any research that I have seen. In fact, it's funny. One chief HR officer that I worked with, who was my boss, had actually studied music and had studied at the university level. So there you go. The second barrier to entry is skills, where people say, I don't have the skills to be able to perform that job well, and we will be talking about that when we talk about my 7 tips. The third barrier to entry is related to biases. Particularly, I want to single out 2 biases that exist. The first is gender, and the second is age. Now, we are in the 21st century. As far as gender is concerned, so much has evolved in the last 30 to 50 years alone, right? You've got men who are childcare practitioners, who are nurses, you have women in the military, you have women who are pilots. Having said that, yes, I am aware there are biases everywhere in the world when it comes to gender. And the thing is, now in this day and age, I feel like those biases are a lot less than they used to be. Companies are being encouraged to be extremely careful in their hiring processes, and to ensure that they are attracting diversity and have processes of diversity and inclusion in their recruitment. What about the bias to age, which is ageism? That's a very sensitive topic, and that's really close to my heart. You know, I can say, yes, focus on the value you bring in and focus on your skills that you bring to the table. But at the end of the day, we know that there are people out there who discriminate based on age, and I think that's a big topic in itself, and I will be making a video on that, so watch this space. And the last barrier is related to network, where people say, I don't know anyone in this career, so I don't understand why a stranger would give me a chance, and why I should even bother, and we will be talking about this in my 7 tips as well. And now let's get into those 7 tips. Are you ready? As usual, I've arranged them in an acronym format so they're easy to follow and easy to remember. This approach is called vitamin. Get it? Changing your career is like boosting your career. Boost, vitamin. Anyway, let's start with your inventory of skills. What I'd like you to do is grab a sheet of paper, grab a pen, and list down all the skills that you have. A skill is basically your ability to do a certain task very well. And list down all these skills down on that sheet of paper. Do not self-censor, and if you're not sure if something is a skill or not, doesn't matter, put it down anywhere. Done? Good. Now, look at the jobs in careers that you would love to do and you dream about those sort of jobs. Go to Google, pick out a couple of job descriptions, and look at the skills that they are looking for, and map them out with the skills that you have today and see which skills you have today match with what they're looking for. These are called transferable skills, and these are your best friends in the whole world. Now let's take an example so that I can be a little bit more clear. Now let's say you work in IT, you're a project manager, and you've been dreaming about a career in marketing, or let's be specific, in brand management, right? So you list down all your skills on a sheet of paper, and these are namely internal communication skills, problem solving, organizational skills, and interpersonal skills. And now let's look at the skills needed for a branding manager. These are strong writing skills, collaboration skills, budget management, and analytical skills. Now, if you pay attention and you peel the onion a little bit, you realize actually the skills that the brand manager needs are very close to what you have. And problem solving and analytical skills, for example, are pretty much the same thing. Interpersonal skills, collaboration skills are also pretty much similar, communication as well. So the point is, you'll realize that with this exercise that actually the focus that they have is not that different from what you're good at today, and this is what you need to focus on in the message that you are going to be putting out there. Speaking of messaging, our next tip is related to the message. The message that you're putting out there should be the following: I've had a certain career, I was really good at it, and I can do this career as well, and these are the skills to prove it. So the message that's going out should basically reflect on how you bring value to the organization. And especially when you are changing careers, you, I think, need all the help that you can get. So a covering note helps to weave your story with their story, and in a way that really comes together. Because let's say you are interested in the brand position and you're coming from IT and you see something that you get excited and you send your CV over, and I'm the recruitment manager. I go over your resume, I don't make the connection. Help me make that connection with the covering note which says who you are and what is the value you bring to me. Bring that to my attention immediately, because I don't make that connection. So help me help you. Now let's talk about the second I in vitamin, and that is your imagination. What I'd like you to do is imagine, preferably. So if I could kindly request you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. They're still open. Okay, now imagine someone who is really successful and doing what you would love to do. I'd like you to think about them. I'd like you to think about what kind of books they read. What kind of podcasts do they listen to? What kind of YouTube videos are they watching? Who do they follow on Twitter or Instagram? What kind of networking events or conferences are they attending? How do they think? Are they emotional? Are they rational? Are they spiritual beings? You can open your eyes now. If you the thing is, this is a very powerful exercise, because when you do this, not once, but on a regular basis, with intention and with a sense of purpose, what you realize is actually the more you learn about this position, you realize the person that you're imagining might only be a couple of steps ahead of you. And if they can do it, you realize you can do it as well. Now, speaking of networking events, etc., I'd love to talk to you about network. I've made a very long video when it comes to network. I will link it up here, especially related to your warm network. You do need to take advantage of your friends and family who have connections in the right places, who can introduce you. Those exploratory and informational chats with absolutely no agenda are critical to get those introductions, because you need to learn. When you meet these people whose career you would love to have, you need to learn, okay, what does your day-to-day look like? What are you struggling with? And if they're attending certain events, maybe after work, go along for these events and conferences, etc. You're going to learn about this profession so well, maybe even better than they do, and you're going to understand the pain points and the challenges in a way that you'll be able to talk about it in conversations so naturally, and it'll come easily to you. Have that sense of intention that every week you're meeting someone, or you're having a chat with someone, or you're following them on LinkedIn and you're contributing with value on certain questions, etc. The next thing I want to talk about is attitude. You can follow all the tips in the world, but if your attitude is not where it should be, then everything can fall flat. I specifically want to talk about two things because attitude is a big topic. The first thing I want to talk about is, they say you are the sum of 5 people that you most spend time with. So I'd like you to think about, who are these 5 people? What are they feeding you? Are they feeding you with negativity? Because if that is the case, you need to distance yourself from their messaging and have a tribe of people that support you and encourage you and inspire you and tell you that you can do pretty much whatever you set your heart and your mind to. The second thing I want to talk about is mindset, and specifically the mindset of abundance and the mindset of scarcity. This is something that a lot of famous authors have already mentioned. You've probably heard of it. So the mindset of abundance says there's plenty of jobs to go around, and scarcity says no, there are not enough jobs, you don't know what you're going to do. Abundance is saying, I'm going to talk to my warm network, I have so many friends who care about me. And scarcity mindset says there are no strangers out there who are going to give me a chance, why bother? Abundance says, she did it, you can do it too. And scarcity says, she did it, why can't I do it? What's wrong with me? You see, it's not just negative and positive, it's also this mindset that there's not enough out there, and you need to consciously sort of release yourself from this scarcity mindset and realize that there's plenty of good stuff to go around for all of us. And my last tip is the most underrated way to get a job in a new career. Can you guess what it is? It's volunteering. They say volunteering is a gift that keeps on giving, and I couldn't agree more. It feels good to volunteer, you get a sense of purpose, and you expand your network. You see, network is back again, so it's really ultra powerful. And I'm going to talk about my own story. When we moved to Chile, I didn't know anyone. I didn't find jobs in the beginning at all. So because I had time, what I decided to do was volunteer in a home of little girls. So this also helped me with my Spanish, which at that point was pretty much non-existent. And I was going there 3 to 4 times a week, and that really helped to make me fluent with the language. So much so that when PricewaterhouseCoopers called me and I interviewed with them, I think the Spanish definitely helped me to nail that interview, without which I probably would not have got into the company. And I credit my level of Spanish to all the time that I spent volunteering. Before you brush volunteering aside and you think, yeah, it's all goody-goody and it's not practical for me, let me throw a couple of facts to you. Did you know that over 80% of all people on LinkedIn have listed volunteer experience in their profile? And secondly, a few years ago, there was a survey of LinkedIn hiring managers, and they said that they count volunteer experience at the same level. They value it at the same level as paid experience. So the skills that you're lacking, take advantage by volunteering, learning. It's free training. And for example, if you want to learn more about web design and you want to practice, volunteer at your a local neighborhood association, or at a school, or at a refugee center, or take advantage of Quora and Reddit. And if you have answers that you can share and expertise that you can share, go ahead and do that. You lose nothing by doing that. You only gain a fantastic network and something called a helper's high. I'm going to link an article on helper's high, which I think is brilliant. So that's it. That's my vitamin approach. Volunteering, underrated, ultra powerful. Inventory of skills, make sure you list them down and see which of these are transferable to the new career. Look at your attitude. Check yourself every day before you wreck yourself. Then also always be conscious of the message that you're putting out there, not only in your resume and using keywords from the professions that you'd love to be in, but also in the notes that you send out to recruiters. Then imagine always in a way which is positive, that you internalize what it would be like to be in that profession, in that level of detail. And always remember, the network that you have around you, you can use, that can help you to your advantage, and you should not feel shy to ask them for help. Thank you so much for watching. If this was useful, do give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And I shall see you in the next video. Ciao.